Love never asks how little you can do, but how much. You see, love is needed for perfecting of service. Obedience is the first condition of all progress. Write that down. See, when you obey that you put on the love above everything. Obedience is the first condition of all progress. If you want to progress in life spiritually, physically, and financially, you have to obey. If you want to have a good marriage, you have to obey. Well, that didn't work neither. Glory to God. Both of you, not just one. See, for years, you had to obey that man. You know what I'm saying? You do what you want, woman, you do what I tell you to do. No, that's all blown away. That don't work. You obey each other. You know, and usually I ask Kathy what you go. She gets mad at me. How come you're always asking me where to eat? Because you don't want to go where I go. Well, why don't you ask? I said, well, I thought I'd go. I don't want to go there. How many times? We have fought this battle for 47 years, and I still hadn't won. So I get in the car and say, what would you like to eat? Well, I don't know, just anywhere you want to go. I said, no, where you want to eat? I said, well, no, where you want, where, you know, she said, anyway, Jess, I said, go anywhere. I said, okay, I'm gonna go over here. I don't want to go there. Put the car in park, I said, okay, where we going? We had that argument yesterday. I mean, you can tell when I want PF Chang's. That's not a bad thing. I love Chinese food. Oh. So watch this. I said, I know Kevin said I like Chinese food. You know, I mean, we order all kinds of stuff. People love it when we come in there because it's a buffet. We just order all kinds. We can't eat it all. And they take it home. I've learned something. That several people take stuff home. We never taught it ever take anything home. But Renee will take the straws, the salt, everything. She take it all home. So, oh, yes. And that's good. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Glory to God. So I said, you want to go? She goes, no, let's go to the Truck Tavern. Anybody been to the Truck Tavern on River Road? You can try that place. You'd be surprised. That's pretty good stuff. Like that. And I said, well, you know, Kevin likes, you know, she said, you always want to go. I said, because that's what he likes. That's what they like. She said, we're going to the Truck Tavern. I said, okay, mother. So she come in and said, and I could tell they wanted to go. So when they came in, they drove by. I said, well, y'all want to go? Well, where y'all? I know what he could see in his hand. He could see PF Chang, PF Chang, you know. And I said, we'll try that. So we tried it, and all of a sudden, it turned out very, very good. They were all, Kevin didn't say too much. He was shoveling, boy. He must have hungry. You know? He'd been on the road a long time, so he just eating good. You know, when you go to Milwaukee, eat here first. Because it ain't nothing like Southern food. You don't live as long, but you die with a smile on your face. I'll tell you that much. It's a lot better, you know. Watch this now. Obedience is the first condition of all progress. So for us to progress yesterday, I had to obey. I just had to obey. So I just went with you. And me, I'm the kind of person, I can go to the same place. You eat the same thing every time you go. I like it. Why don't you try something different? Because I seen you try something different, and it ruined your meal. I hate it when I get something I don't like. How many of you know when you go out to eat and all of a sudden you go, it kind of just messes up the meal. I don't want to do that. Why don't you, I don't want to try that. I want to try that. Well, go ahead and try it, Kathy, if you want it. And how many times she goes, I don't like what I ordered. Can I have yours? Sure. I handed it to her. The other day, man, everybody was talking about too much calories for a hamburger. We were at one, I said the other day, I get these time walks. It's probably about 6 months ago. I was with Steve Allen, Maryland, and me and Kathy. But we all love these hamburgers at what do they call it, Houston's or the Boulevard, whatever. I said, well, y'all want one? Oh, yeah, but it's just so much. They always everybody's trying to cut back. I said, give us a cheeseburger loaded to the gills, bring it here and cut it in 4. What? They just looked at me. I said, just do what I say. So they brought the big cheeseburger like that. I said, now cut it in 4. Foom. I pulled each out. I said, appetizer. You got 1/4 of the calories. Ain't too much love in the church here. You see, that way everybody got their flavor. See? I got to do is just cut it. Now, I like the Golden Corral. Kathy can't stand the place. She can't stand it. She calls it the Krusty Canal. But me and Meredith, we love the Golden Corral. Lord Jesus, man. And I just know, I go when it's all fresh. You know what people say? And people go, I can't believe you in the Golden Corral. I have one. They say, you eat at the Golden Corral? I say, as many times as I can, but my wife won't let me. She just won't, because I like the salad bar, and I don't really care about all the other stuff. I think Meredith likes the dessert bar and all that kind of stuff like that. You know. And so I went there, and there was a chocolate fountain. Ooh, So I took me a cup and just filled it up. Drank me a cup of chocolate. Oh, that was good. But I noticed I didn't sleep for 2 days. I was doing that. God, help me, Lord Jesus. But I obeyed myself because I wanted to taste it. And I progressed. Took me a week to get that cup of chocolate off of me. See, love is needed for the perfecting of these services. So when the lady came, and I don't eat all that bread, Kathy like all that bread stuff, so I gave her, and most of the time since you serve yourself, and let me help you, ladies and gentlemen, people work very hard. Most people ain't gonna leave nothing, or they might leave $1. Excuse me? Man, they're cleaning those tables, getting that stuff. They'll even go get you something if you don't, But normally you help yourself as a buffet. So when I said, come here, sweetheart, and I gave her $50. Are you serious? I said, it was your black girl. She was so sweet, man. She goes, Shalina, she said, I'm going to tell you something, white man. I went, I thought I was going to get nailed here for a minute. She said, let me tell you something, white man. You're the only nicest white man. Most white men don't give nothing. But you just gave me some courage for the future. You see all these tables around you? Yeah. She said, they're all white. I ain't going to get a dime. I said, well, I'm sorry. I said, well, come back here. I said, here, let me give you $100. I said, I'll make up for that class. You the nicest white man. I said, really, I'm a Cajun. I don't know what I am. She said, well, stay like you are. Otherwise, she made a little money that day. That's sad that people, what's the matter with people? My God, you should be a blessing. See, why? Because they're serving you. You see, they're serving you. So love is needed for the perfecting of service, and that obedience is the first condition of all progress. Now let's go to the last one. Love is needed for the perfecting of relationships. See, if you want a good relationship, you got to have love in it. Love is needed for the perfecting of relationships. Write this down. There are 3 enemies to relationships. 3. Number 1, selfishness. You can't have a relationship if you're selfish because you're only thinking about yourself. No one else fits in your equation. Selfishness. If you are selfish, you can never be a friend or have a friend. You can never be a friend or have a friend. Why? Because you're only thinking about yourself. You see, you got to be very careful. That's a very bad thing. That is an enemy of relationships. If you are selfish, you can never be a friend or have a friend. Because if you have a friend, you're just talking about yourself all the time. And you certainly can't be a friend because you don't have enough time to think about anybody else but yourself. See, that's just selfishness. You see what I'm saying? It's wrong. That's a very big enemy to a relationship. How come y'all just couldn't get together? And you may have liked each other immediately, but because one of them was selfish or both were selfish, you just can't go nowhere or do anything because you're only thinking about yourself. You see what I'm saying? Number 2, pride. Whoo, that's a tough one. No one is ever warmed by pride. Pride produces coldness. When you get around a proud person, let me say it again, you can feel it. It's cold, man. Who do you think you are? We say it in Cajun, that man think himself. How many people understood that statement? He think himself. Pride. No one is ever warmed by pride. Pride produces coldness. Yeah. See. Number 3, fear. These are enemies to relationship. Love is needed for the perfecting of relationship. Fear. What does fear do? Fear forces people to do things. Perfect love casts out fear. Fear will force you to do something. But if you have perfect love, it casts it out. So you have no fear in your life at all, spiritually, physically, financially, because you're wrapped around in this power of love, this perfecting. See, you're perfecting. See, and let me go back to that pride thing, man. A lot of people, my God, you can feel it when they're very prideful. I had a gentleman who's no longer now on the earth. He transitions somewhere. I don't know if he's in heaven or hell, but he couldn't land his plane without all his cars being there so everybody could see him. So it depended on which car he wanted to get in. I'll never forget, years ago, I used to park my jet next to Mr. Benson's jet. We were in the same hangar. This is many years ago. Probably, 18 years ago. So when I walked out, he said, how you doing, Reverend? I said, you know me? He said, yeah. I said, how you doing, Mr. Benson? He said, you know me? I said, yeah. I know you from television. He said, I know you from television. He said, you got a nice plane. I said, thank you. I said, you got a really nice one too, And he owns the Mercedes-Benz dealership, And to make a long story short, I said, my wife likes Mercedes-Benz. Oh, do y'all have one? I said, yeah. I said, she likes it. I said, then it was the S-Class 500. This is before 550, 560, you know, the S450, S500, S-Class of that. He said, that's what I drive. I said, oh, you do? Yeah. I said, you don't have that S600? The S600 is the 12-cylinder. That's come from Mr. Benson. He may not even remember it. This is many years ago. He said, no, why would I spend $40,000 for more for cylinders I can't see? He said, get the S-Class like I have and get the S600 interior in it. And you still save $40,000. That's the owner of the company. He said, but if you want 12, he said, the S-Class, it goes 160, and the S600 goes 190. He said, both of them, you're going to jail if you're going that fast. It doesn't make any difference. They're not going to give you a ticket. They're going to arrest you. Because you could kill somebody, kill yourself as well as kill a bunch of people. And I've never thought about that. So the other day, I told Kathy, I said, hey, Kathy, you want one of them S600s? She goes, why do we need to spend that much money on them cylinders? That's right. I forgot about that. You see what I'm saying? Now, watch it. This man could own anything he wants, Mr. Benson. But, you know, he's not a prideful person. Very, very nice. Very kind. He was really kind of sweet. So pride is an enemy to relationship. No one is ever warmed by pride. Pride produces coldness. And let me tell you something. You can be very prideful and not have a dime to your name. Money don't make you prideful. That's just something you pick up from the devil. He was full of pride. But perfect love casteth out all fear. All fear. See, not some fear, all fear. It casts it out, which means that fear don't want to go. You have to cast it out. You have to push it. Get away from me. I will not have this in my life. Those are three enemies to relationships. But love is needed for the perfecting of those relationships. Number one, selfishness, shouldn't be selfish. Number two, pride, you shouldn't be prideful. And number three, you should be fearful. Shouldn't be fearful. So let me say it again. Selfishness, if you are selfish, you can never be a friend or have a friend. Pride, no one is ever warmed by pride. Pride produces coldness. Fear forces people to do things. Perfect love casted out all fear. I'll say this and close. The other day, someone blessed me with a beautiful motorcycle. You ought to see the thing. It's cobalt blue. I mean, a Screaming Eagle. Oh, Lord. Harley Davidson. Nice. And so I had Roy get it for me. And actually, they brought it at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. Roy loved motorcycles so much, he just wanted to see it too, I guess. I don't know. He said, I'll be there. And they brought it to the ministry, you know. He said, he actually put it in the annex building. Boy, I walked in there. I forgot about it, man. I just, you know, my name's on the building. I started it in the building. You should have seen people, just, who was with me? I scared the fire out of me. That thing is loud. Got them real loud pipes. See, this one speaks in tongues. That's how it sounds. It's not a Honda. Honda like this. But this Harley, I said, good Lord Jesus. I love this motorcycle. And so I went out and bought me a helmet to match it. It was nice. And I appreciate Roy at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I said, Roy, you tired? No, man. I said, where's the bike? Come see, I'll show it to you. And it's just really nice. Now, they didn't have to do that. I mean, you know, now I could go around saying, you got something like this? But I've never done that. And I've owned a lot of motorcycles in my life. I refuse to do that. I don't go around saying, you don't have a jet? Huh. Well, that's pride. Now, I tell you, I just do what I want to do. I don't let the world dictate to me what they think I should do. Amen. Whom the Son has set free is free indeed. Amen. Watch this. You may not like this. God has delivered me from you. Oh, don't get mad. Look at me. I saw some of y'all. Whoa. The Bible said in the book of Acts, God said, Paul, I have delivered you from the people. You ain't going to run me. And I'm not going to run you. I'm going to love you with the perfect love. You may hate me. That's still all right. You can hate me all you want. But I will not hate you. You will not offend me. I live above, you heard me say, I live above offense. When they got trouble going on, I just ascend to a higher love. I fly above Christian turbulence. I just go on about my business. And I wish it wouldn't happen. Sometimes bridges start burning. You don't know how they started burning. People get mad, leave, and all that kind of. And then they don't want to see you if they see you downtown. Now, I just walk up. Hey, how you doing? It's okay to leave. I don't have a chain around your neck trying to hold you back and all that kind of stuff. You do what you have to do. Now, I wouldn't do that, but hey, maybe you have a valid reason for doing it. But I still forgive you. Even if I buy something And I don't like it when I buy something and they fight me to bring it back. I wouldn't have brought it back. I bought it not to bring it back. Kathy was so kind to me. I close with this again. Kathy would say, when she broke something in the house that was very expensive, she broke one of the vases. Did you hear her talk about that? You know, we've been collecting. This is a $10,000 vase. Yeah. You must have been there when it happened to me. I went, whoo. All right, now she didn't do it on purpose. Now, if she'd have done it on purpose, she wouldn't be senior pastor. She'd be in a mausoleum if she did it on purpose. No, I'm just joking. I couldn't believe it. So I didn't hear it, and I got up. She had got up before me. And I collect artwork and all kinds of stuff. In fact, the lady said the other day, you have a beautiful home. Do you have the furniture too? I said, yes. I said, my youngest piece of furniture is about 200 years old in terms of the art part of it, because I buy antiques and artwork and paintings, and you know, I invest in those kind of. Anyway, make a long story short, Kathy comes in, she goes like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I said, what? She said, I broke a vase. I said, you what? She said, I broke a vase. I said, what room did you break a vase in? We got a lot of vases. I was thinking, oh, Jesus. She said, the dining room. Oh, God. Oh, Lord, Jesus. Now, there's 2 vases in that dining room. I thought, oh, God, I hope it ain't them vases. Because I found them, when I found them, they were behind glass for 100 years. They were never touched. So they're perfect. They're Meissen. Meissen. And I got 2 of them. Match. It's just unheard of. She said, no, I broke the one that was on the sidebar. Oh, those. I said, well, it was just an accident. Hey, you didn't do it on purpose. It's just an accident. She said, it was an accident. Then she said, no, it was not just, it was negligence. She said, I should have watched what I was doing. I said, well, don't worry about it. If we can buy it once, we can buy it again. And I thought, well, I'm going to find it. The thing's 200 and something years old, but that's all right, we'll find it. So she said, are you sure? She took all them little pieces and started gluing it together. I mean, some of it looked like sawdust, some of them little pieces. You know, and all kinds of stuff. And she's got it stuck somewhere. And she said, I'm going to try to put this thing back together. I said, Kathy, get in the car. Let's go. Because, see, I saw 2 vases that I'd like, and I've been really thinking about it, Tyler, for a long time. You know, and they're very expensive. And I thought, well, you know, here's an opportunity to bless myself. So I went down there, so I'll take those 2. Let's talk business here. I always do business. So now I've replaced those, actually with something better. See, everything is a vase until it goes over $10,000. Then it's a vase. See, anything below is a vase. When it gets above 10, it's a vase. Would you like to look at our vases? Get ready, you're going to get hit hard here. You know, so we put that on like that. And then she took the remaining one and put it on a piece of furniture. And I looked at that and I said, now that furniture has never looked as perfect because it was too small for 2, but it was perfect for 1. Isn't that amazing? In the midst of all that. And you know, she said, Jesse, you treated me like God. I said, I did? How did I treat you like God? She said, you didn't complain. You didn't call me what you could have called me. It was a valuable piece. You just forgave me. I said, well, you didn't do it on purpose. It's not the issue. I said, it's just, an accident. She said, no, it was negligent. And I got to thinking, yes, it was negligent. All she had to do was move it to pull this piece of garland out. Now, I'm pretty sure when you're pulling the garland away, you can see the vase moving toward the edge, right? But when you're not thinking, and that happens to a lot of people, you just pull it and down. And when it hit the ground, buddy, she shattered like crazy. But you know what? I'm not mad about it. I've already replaced it. And she said, you treated me like God. And I got to thinking about what she said. And I said, yeah. You know, look how many things I did. I was a broken vessel. I said some terrible, I used his name in vain at least 100 times a day before I was saved. I didn't believe in him, much of nothing. And yet he forgave me. And not only he didn't cover my sin, he washed it all away. I've been telling her to throw away the vase. No. I think she's become a master seeing how she's going to fix this thing. Now she got Lorna. Lorna works in our house too. Both of them. Lorna comes and running like, so I said, Lorna goes, boss. And I went, what? I thought something was wrong. She said, I found another piece of the vase. It was this big. Look. I said, yeah. She said, Miss Kathy's going to need that. I thought, yeah, I guess you. And you know, I thought thinking, how many times we've been broken in pieces and God took every little piece and made us whole and complete. Isn't that something? Now, she's going to make it right. I don't know where to put the thing when she does it, but we'll find something else. Say, that was just the Lord. I didn't have any pride in me. Woman, I bought you this and you go. No. I certainly didn't have any fear. She didn't have any fear because I wasn't going to hurt her because perfect love casted out fear. And we were not selfish. We just saw it and liked it and was it. So that's the power of love. And then she said this yesterday, right there with Kevin and Kathy said, we eating like that. I said, I feel the Lord want me to preach on the power of love tomorrow. She said, you're such a gift. I said, I ain't no gift. What do you mean a gift? Get out of here. She said, no. I mean, you know, it's so wonderful lately you've been preaching. So you used to never want to preach at the church. It's not that I didn't want to preach at the church. I just let other people preach. Do you know how many times I preach a year? Oh, Jesus. I'm tired of hearing myself. But then sometimes I get so excited about myself, I buy my own tape. Because I said something that wasn't in my notes. And I thought, oh, I got to have that, you know. It's a blessing, see, because it's God speaking. So I'm preaching this sermon today because we're in the Christmas season. And you should show love. So if you have aught in your heart towards someone, you forgive them. That doesn't mean you got to hang out with them. That doesn't mean you just forgive them and go on about your business. You see, if you have that and refuse any type of pride. And if somebody gets something you thought you should have, pray not for them to give it to you. You pray for God to give you yours. Remember that, Ricky, that time we was on that cruise? I had a 1995 turquoise and cream Harley Davidson motorcycle. God, that thing was beautiful. It had 17 gold eagles on it. And the Lord told me to give it away. I said, no. I said, listen, I'll go buy somebody a motorcycle. I want this. This is a 1995 Heritage Softail Classic, turquoise and cream, Harley Davidson motorcycle. God said, you got to give it away. I said, well, I'll buy somebody a motorcycle. So I'm with Ricky. Ricky, not only we brother-in-laws, but we good friends. He said, you know, Jesse, I'm believing God for a motorcycle like yours. I said, you believing for my motorcycle? Oh, no, I'm not. But if you ever decide you want to sell it, I thought to myself, the man's believing for my motorcycle. No, he said, if you ever want to say, what? He said, and the Lord said, give it to him. I did exactly what y'all did. I went silent. I said, but it's a 1995 Heritage Softail Classic, turquoise and cream, Harley Davidson motorcycle. He said, you want to say it again or you all going to obey? I said, I'm going to obey. I said, you know, Lord, he might want a different one. I'll buy him a brand new one. He said, no, he wants that one. Now, he wasn't trying to get my motor. He said, if you ever decide to sell it, you know, I'll buy it for it. So sure enough, I gave it to him. I don't know how long you rode it and whatever. A couple of years, something, he really enjoyed it. And he comes back to me and said, Jesse, I'm not going to be riding much anymore. He said, I'm going to give it back to you. I said, no. Once I give you something, I said, it's yours. He said, well, man, people, I could sell this thing. I said, sell it. Keep the money. I'm not going to take my seed back. You see what I'm saying? I want harvest of that. Well, got my harvest. Guess what I got? I got a Harley Davidson Heritage Softail Classic, cobalt blue, Screaming Eagle, Fat Boy motorcycle. I just got it. I got my paid. And I got 2 seats to go with it. You know, I had forgot about that, Roy. But the Lord didn't. Why? Because he's love in its purest form. So use this perfect love in your holiday season. You that are watching all over the world, you'll have an opportunity today to be a blessing to someone that doesn't look like they want to be blessed. But if you ever seen Ebenezer Scrooge in the Christmas Carol and his nephew Fred was such a nice man. He was Ebenezer Scrooge's sister's son. And every time he said, bah humbug, Fred just said, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. He said, I don't care. I'm going to sing Merry Christmas. I'm going to call him Merry Christmas. And of course, if you've seen the movie, you see where he goes to Fred's house for Christmas. You see, Fred didn't give up because Fred had the power of love. I'm Jesse Duplantis, and I approve this message. Give Jesus a hand clap for that. Woo. Did you enjoy that?
Thanks for listening to this powerful message by Jesse Duplantis. Remember to hit like, subscribe, and the notification bell in order to be up to date with all things Jesse Duplantis Ministries. For more information, visit our website at jdm.org.
This media is copyrighted by Jesse Duplantis Ministries for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this media or of any pictures or accounts without Jesse Duplantis Ministries' consent is strictly prohibited.